Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another Supercoach EPL Game Week review. It was Game Week 5. We cracked the ton. We moved 2.5k into 1.7k. And I think we owe a huge shout out to my man, the real superstar German signing, the man himself, Anton Stach. As I said, without him, we would be in some trouble. Now, as you can see, this is the team. We haven't done anything to it. But when the news came out that Wirtz was going to be benched, we benched him. We changed formation, and thank goodness we did so. Because initially, we did not have Mr. Truffer, as I've been told it's pronounced. Truffet. I got told it was Truffer, so we're going with that. We put him on field. We changed our formation, and Wirtz was benched. Truffer came on with a nice 10-pointer. Team looks okay. Team looks pretty good. I don't necessarily know what our exact plans are just yet, but all I can say is probably Bruno. I think he's going to be our VC. I mean, be very, very hard not to go without him if you don't actually own him. Not too sure about any other options that, you may not be thinking of or where you would like to go. So he's going to go as our VC. And it's pretty obvious if you own Haaland, you're making him the captain. Like, we're locking that in. I think Bruno would have to score upwards of, say, potentially 15 plus, not to go with Haaland, at home to Burnley. What I was thinking of is, I know Saka came off the bench and had 34 minutes, and I want to get in on their run. It's pretty simple. Arsenal have a fantastic run coming up. We obviously own David Araya, who has been fantastic. I mean, scoring a 4, not the best. Calafiori scoring a 5, but in saying that, they did have City. I wasn't expecting anything massive there. But at this stage, I think we're going to go Wirtz out. And it's going to look something like this. Wirtz out. Saka in. Paqueta out. And if he starts, we'll be bringing Foden in. So I think if everything goes to plan, that's how we're going to be lining up. Hopefully. So that'll leave us with 410,000 in the bank. Not too sure why you can't see the entirety of the screen, but that's what you get around here. So once that's been done, this would be the team. In saying that, I think we will be rolling with it like that regardless. If Foden starts, then he's in. He's an absolute lock. And I might also take the gamble on Saka regardless. I know he does have a relatively high-ish break-even, but I don't want to continue losing money on Florian Wirtz, who, I mean, it's unequivocal now that he's the second best German signing for this year behind Anton Stach, superstar. Can see there, Saka, the break-even, like, that's achievable, but in saying that, I'm not too sure if I really do need to go early on him ahead of the run. I don't know if we will do so, but I want a forward from Arsenal for their post-game week 7 run, just because it's amazing. This is probably how we would line up, though. Calafiori on for Rodon, and then switch the formation to a 3-4-3. Oh, that's a bit rough that they just bench the king himself. But we'd go like that. And then if Saka isn't starting, we would just change formation again and then put Kevin Dewsbury Hall on, because we just, like, why wouldn't you? Like, I don't think you'd take a 0 when you could just play Dewsbury Hall. I mean, we'll get the lineup news for Saka pretty well. They play the second last game of the round, but Everton play the last, so it works well that way. So I think this is what I will be doing. Newcastle have been very good defensively, but as I said, I think the reasoning is just like I want an Arsenal forward. We're triple Arsenal now. I think Foden probably does start, and purely because of him starting against Burnley at home, that's a gamble I'm willing to take. And then, for argument's sake, in the upcoming game weeks, if he is benched or it is cameo roles, we can, I guess, respond adequately and change the formation if needed. But at this stage, going to be having Bruno as the VC, if we can potentially do that. When is Villa playing? Yes, they're playing a third last game of the round. Man United playing first up. So, as I said, Bruno will probably need maybe a 15-pointer to take that VC. But if you don't have Bruno, I think Palmer starts, which I don't think he will, then you could probably go there. You could go one of the Liverpool boys as well. You could even do something along the lines of, say, a Haaland into a Grealish, or a Haaland into maybe a Saka if you're game, maybe one of the defenders potentially. But at this stage, I'm pretty locked and loaded on a Bruno into Haaland. I think Foden starts. I hope that Foden and Haaland don't feature midweek against Huddersfield. I know Pep made some comments regarding Haaland and his lower back pain, but he did say he needed some time. Well, to paraphrase, he needed to have a little bit of a break, and I think what he meant will be the break in midweek. Hopefully, they're both not in the squad, but at this stage, we're using the money in the bank to go from Paqueta and Florian Wirtz to Phil Foden and Bukayo Saka. And if Saka does not start, we will change formation. Dewsbury Hall comes on, and Saka just stays to the bench, because if he doesn't start this game week, I'm fairly confident he starts next game week, and that's when the amazing Arsenal run starts. So, as I said, this is how we are looking for game week 6. You can quite clearly see that David Raya is in goal. We have Ricardo Calafiori, Mickey van der Ven, Truffet, however you want to pronounce it. Looked good though for Bournemouth, and I think they definitely beat Leeds, hence why Rodon is not coming on the field. Sunderland were good, but like law of averages, surely Forest have to do something sooner rather than later. And that's my thinking in the back line due to benching Ballard and Rodon. In the midfield, Bruno Fernandes takes the VC armband, Jack Grealish, Phil Foden if he starts. If he doesn't, I will probably grab Tiani Reinders. Anton Stach, the real German superstar, fantastic free kick, top bins, insane connection, really saved our game week. starting pick that has been fantastic for those that went there. I was huge on him. At our forwards, Haaland will take the captain's armband if Bruno does not perform. If it's not over 15, we'll just go with Haaland. Mohamed Salah, still in this format, providing the goods. So happy to hold there. And Saka as our new addition. But as I said before, if Saka does not start, we'll just change to literally a 3-5-2. So that doesn't even work out. It'd be a 2-5. No, what would it be? Yeah. So we just swap it. It would literally be a 3-4-2. Yep. Happy with that. No issues at all. Maths was a bit off. God. But I think that's a fairly good summary for Game Week 5 and the Game Week 6 preview. I think fairly strong team. As I said, we are, I think it was 1.8k. No, 1.7, close enough. Cracked 100, so that's what we want to do. We want to be aiming for that basically every single game week. And some game weeks, geez, we've been a fair way off it. Some have been relatively, well, quite a long way over, but this week we're almost bang on it. So, as always, we move forward. Main summary, Foden, Pep has not changed the lineup 3 game weeks in a row. Want to attack the fixtures coming up. They've got a good run. And also Arsenal as well, post-game week 7. And I'm not against going early for the Newcastle game, because I think Saka's play style is perfectly suited to this format. But as you can see, 1.7k, Bruno VC, Haaland C. Once again, if you're enjoying the content, leave a like, leave a comment, make sure you subscribe. We are 3 off 100 for the little side channel. Speaking of channels, check out the main one at Supercoach Swordplay. Check out what the boys are doing in relation to the basketball scene, the NBL, and the game day squad. Might have something cooking up in the future for this channel relating to the game day squad format. I don't know that much about it. I've got to do some research on it, get my head wrapped around it, and I'm sure we can get something started there. But as always, thank you so much for watching. If you haven't subscribed and you enjoy the content, make sure you do. We want to hit 100 as soon as possible. So thank you once again.
If you've enjoyed this video, then please like and subscribe. And don't forget to check out the website at supercoachswordplay.com.